Hi guys, Michael from Team Shift here. I'm just here today showing you some striker combos. It's not really a combo deck, but I'm going to be showing you some things that are useful to know, either playing striker or playing against striker, especially with the DPE package, and also with the artifacts as well if you play them. But there are a lot of things revolving around DPE as well. So just some useful tips and tricks that you should know really. So we'll get into the first combo. Okay, so after DPE was released, one of the best cards in the deck is actually now Hornet Drones. So it is quite surprising, but I'll show you what Hornet Drones can do in order to put a Cobra on the board and summon DPE without using your normal summon. So what we'll do is we'll play the drones and we'll summon a token. Then we link the token into Kagari. Kagari will then add back the Hornet Drones. Then we link the Kagari into a Kana. Then activate drones to summon a token again. Kagari will gain us 100 life points. Then we link the token into Hayate. And then we link the Kana and the Hayate into the Cobra. And then we'll use Cobra's effect. And we will send Fusion Destiny for cost, followed by Dasher and Celestial. Special the DPE from the extra deck, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So Hornet Drones, very good at summoning DPE, a lot easier than you'd think because you get the Cobra without the normal summon. And if you do have something like a Ray, then obviously you can summon it, same with Rose, search in the end phase, and you're good to go. So based on the knowledge of what I've showed you with the Hornet Drones, we're going to look at an example 3-card hand, forgetting the other 2 cards, and we'll go through what a normal duelist might do, and we'll show you how much better it is to do it a slightly different way. So if we look at the hand, we've got Artifact, Scythe, Ray and Engage. This could obviously be a Ray or a Rose. For the purpose of one specific example, we'll call it a Rose. So normal duelists, they're probably going Engage and they'll add a Widow Anchor. They'll summon the Rose, link off into Kagari, they'll add back the Engage, and then they'll either engage again or hold it in their hand, and then link this off into a Shizuku, and then search another Widow Anchor. So we're going to show you here with Hornet Drones why that's a much better play. So we're going to activate Engage, search the Hornet Drones, activate Hornet Drones, and we're going to special summon a token. Then we'll link the token into Kagari. Kagari will target the Hornet Drones as chain link 1. The reason why I'm showing you with a Rose is that Rose can actually be chain link 2 in order to stop them from belling the add from Kagari. So Kagari effect to target the Hornet Drones, chain Rose, special to the fields, add back the Hornet Drones, and then these 2 would become your Anaconda. Then you would activate the Hornet Drones, special the token, make the token into a Shizuku, and then resolve the Anaconda to send the Destiny Fusion from the deck to the graveyard, sending the Dasher and Celestial to summon the DPE from your extra deck. And then the Shizuku in the end phase will be searching a Widow Anchor. So it's much better this way, especially with the Scythe, where you've now got DPE to pop Scythe, summon Scythe. The Shizuku search is online. You get in 2 draws after your draw phase next turn, and you've got the Anaconda. So very similar once again, but I'm going to be showing you how Area 0 might slightly change your play. This could be figured out by yourself, but it's just helpful to know. So in this case, we've got Hornet Drones, Area 0 and Ray. So what we would do in this line of play is activate the Hornet Drones, special the token, Then we'll activate the area 0 and normal summon the ray. Then we'll activate area 0 targeting ray, and we'll chain the ray to summon the Kagari. Area 0 will resolve, revealing 3 cards. Add one of them to our hands. The rest get shuffled back into the deck. Then we'll link the Kagari into a Kana after the Kagari is added back to the Hornet Drones. We'll link the token into a Hayate, and we'll link those two into the Cobra. Then activate the Hornet Drones, special summoning the token, link the token into Shizuku, and then same as before, DPE effect, sending Fusion Destiny for cost, sending Celestial and Dasher to summon the DPE. End phase Shizuku will search, Widow Anchor. So obviously it's a slightly different line of play that just means that you get that area 0 possibility, where if you just went straight into the Hornet Drone single card combo, you just miss out on that potential extra card. Obviously you're not guaranteed it, but it shows that it could just slightly change the way that you do the combo if you do have access to both Ray and Hornet Drones at the same time. So in regards to specifically the artifact variant of the deck, I'm going to show you an example that you might commonly see and why Artifact Ignition is actually a good card. So if we look at the board here, we've got a Verte, Shizuku, DPE, and say we'll have a set Ignition. So often what your opponent will do is they'll activate a card like Impermanence into the DPE before they make their play. So let's say your opponent activates Impermanence. Now, in this case, obviously the DPE would be negated, and we want to chain it. So what we would need to do is we need to chain the DPE as Chainik 2 before we activate the Ignition. What you can actually do is activate the Ignition, targeting the Impermanence. What Ignition is then going to do is it's going to destroy the Impermanence. Not that that matters, but it's going to set to the field an Artifact Scythe. The Ignition will resolve, destroying the Impermanence, and then the DPE will resolve, popping the Scythe. Scythe will then be able to special and activate as effect. So a lot of the time when you activate DPE, in the case of any artifact related deck, is your opponent would have a window where they think, oh, if I can cosmic the right card, then the Scythe won't hit the field. So in this case, it's why it's really strong with Artifact Ignition, where there's actually no window for them to activate that Cosmic Cyclone, because the Scythe is both setting itself and being destroyed sort of as part of a resolving chain. So it's useful to know. So with DP and Sky Striker, one thing I would say in props to the artifact build, for example, is that in regards to your Celestial drawing 2 cards, the less hand traps you play, the more likely you are to get those 2 draws the next turn. In the case of artifacts Sky Striker, a lot of them play no hand traps at all. Good hand trap examples also are things like Lancia, where you can activate it irrespective of your opponent doing something, say in their end of the turn, and then you can activate Celestial because that will be the only hand trap in your hand if you lost it, to draw 2. Also, if you've got your DPE, you can set that Lancia to the field, and then you can pop it with DPE, resummon it, tribute it, and vanish. But yeah, so getting those Celestial draw 2s are very important. Another thing to note when facing Sky Striker or using Sky Striker is that the Cobra is often very important in the artifact variant. And the reason why is because, say this is our setup and we've managed to scythe our opponent. If they don't clear this Cobra, bear in mind the DP is possibly already used as effect, then these 2 become an artifact Dagda, which then in the next turn, DP can pop the Dagda, Dagda's effect can summon back the Scythe, and the Scythe can trigger again. So if you are against this variant of the deck, it's very important to try clear the Anaconda. But if you don't, then they would be summoning the Dagda. And likewise, if you are playing Striker, then always keep Dagda in mind, because especially when so many of your cards get you to a scythe, because you've got Ignition, Sanctum, Scythe, and all sorts of things, then that Dagda becomes quite relevant, because you can scythe them, Dagda them, and then maybe get to another scythe, in which case in my list I played 2, and then you've guaranteed won that game. As well with Ignition, Poppy in area 0, set the scythe. That's one of your special summons that you'd need for your Verte. Sometimes you'll often Kagari back the area 0, because you can reveal, you know, Ray, Rose, Drones, or Engage and get yourself to the combo. So sometimes in those circumstances it is worth it. But then also if you've got cards like Monster Reborn, then, you know, you're getting to that combo, the Ignition set that scythe already. If people would like me to profile what I'm playing for Artifact Sky Striker, I can certainly do that. But I think Hornet Drones in this variant, and most variants now, especially with DPE, becomes a lot stronger of a card. And I hope you've learned something today in regards to these combos. Thank you very much.